In this video, we will discuss about the significance of women in the freedom struggle or the role of women in Indian national movement. So now, first let me tell you that the history of Indian struggle would be incomplete without mentioning the contributions of women. So the sacrifice made by women of India will occupy the foremost place. And when most of the men freedom fighters were in prison, the women came forward and took charge of the struggle. So they fought with true spirit and unafraid courage and faced various tortures, exploitations, and hardships to earn us freedom. So participation of women in politics during freedom movement has emerged a new area of research in historiography, and for long the contribution of women remained neglected. Despite being highly patriarchal society, women participated in the freedom movement in multiple modes. So the role played by women in Indian freedom struggle can be termed as crusaders and not just helpers. So they helped us to sail through the difficulties in order to earn the freedom. Now, when we talk about their role, they played role in the early struggles, like for example Bhima Bai Holkar fought bravely against the British colonel Malcolm and defeated him in guerrilla warfare. Then when we talk about the first war of independence, that was from 1857 to 58. In this we can talk about Rani Lakshmi Bai. She was a great heroine of the first war of freedom and she showed the embodiment of patriotism, self-respect and heroism. She was the queen of a small state but the empress of a limitless empire of glory. Next, non-cooperation movement. So it was launched in the year of 1920, and in this case we can mention Sarla Devi, Muthu Lakshmi Reddy, Shushila Nair, Rajkumari Amrit Kaur, Sucheta Kripalani and Aruna Asaf Ali. So these are some of the women who participated in the non-violent movement. Further, Kasturba Gandhi, the wife of Mahatma Gandhi, and women of Nehru family Kamala Nehru, Vijay Lakshmi Pandit and Swarup Rani also participated in the national movement. To mention further, Lado Rani Jutsi and her daughters Manmohini, Shyama and Janak led the movement in Lahore. Then when we talk about civil disobedience movement and the Dandi Salt March of the year 1930, so in this case we can mention Kamala Devi. She addressed meetings, prepared salt and picketed foreign cloth and liquor shops. Nari Satyagrah Committee, Mahila Rashtriya Sangh and Ladies Picketing Board played important role during the period. Further, in revolutionary activities, in this case we can mention some of the women revolutionaries like Beena Das, Kalpana Datta and Preeti Lata Vadedar. Then further, Quit India movement of 1942 consisted of Usha Mehta. She was a committed patriot. She set up a radio transmitter called the Voice of Freedom to disseminate the mantra of freedom war. So these were some of the important names of women who were involved in the Indian national movement. Now when we talk about prominent women leadership, then in this case we can look at the names like for example Annie Besant, Sarojini Naidu, Madam Kama, Sucheta Kripalani, Rajkumari Amrit Kaur. Also, we can give example of a Naga woman who remained undeterred by colonial excesses and patriarchal barriers, and she is Rani Gandhi Nelu. So, besides participation in freedom movement, there were women leaders like Pandita Ramabai, Durgabai Deshmukh, Vasanti Devi, Suniti Devi, and they played role in social and economic empowerment of women. Also, further, two important women organizations were made. So they were, first one is Young Women's Christian Association, which was made in the year of 1875, and All India Women's Conference in the year of 1927. Therefore we can say that women played dual role. Now let's talk about the point of view of one of the important scholars, Sumit Sarkar. So he says that though women movement in India was started by men, women had been active participants in Indian national movement, yet the INC leaders were not full-blooded liberals. Women issues were never the core issues. Gandhi's movement was using mostly women as resource for mass movement rather than upliftment of women as such. Like issues of peasantry and workers, women issues were also on periphery. So these are his views. Further, we can see the patriarchal approach of mainstream leaders in common issues in the form of strong protest against Ambedkar's Hindu Code Bill, even by leaders like Dr. Rajendra Prasad. So, what is this Hindu Code Bill? So, Hindu Code Bills were several laws passed in the 1950s that aimed to codify and reform Hindu personal laws in India. So let me throw some more light on this. So following India's independence in the year of 1947, the Indian National Congress government led by Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru with the help of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar completed this codification and reform, a process started by the British Raj. So according to the British policy of non-interference, personal law reform should have arisen from a demand from the Hindu community. That was not the case, as there was significant opposition from various conservative Hindu politicians, organizations, and devotees, like I mentioned about Dr. Rajendra Prasad. So they saw themselves unjustly singled out as the sole religious community whose laws were to be reformed. However, Nehru administration saw such a codification as necessary to unify the Hindu community, which ideally would be a first step towards unifying the nation. So they succeeded in passing out four Hindu code bills in 1955 to 56: the Hindu Marriage Act, Hindu Succession Act, Hindu Minority and Guardianship Act, and Hindu Adoptions and Maintenance Act. So they continue to be the controversial to the present day among women, religious and nationalist groups. So basically what we can understand is that Hindu Code Bill was a series of modern and progressive legislations enacted in 1950s in order to give Hindu women equal rights in inheritance and marriage. They were aimed to reform Hindu personal laws and Hindu society in order to embrace the contemporary liberal social reality. So overall what we can understand is that women shouldered critical responsibilities in India's struggle for freedom. They held public meetings, organized picketing of shops selling foreign alcohol and articles, sold khadi, and actively participated in national movements. So they were promoting the Swadeshi things and not the foreign items. And further, they bravely faced the baton of the police and went to the jails. Hundreds and thousands of Indian women dedicated their lives for obtaining freedom of their motherland. So this is it about this topic, and thank you so much for watching.